Now I thought I'd begin today's video with a reaction recording right now for a trailer that aired in December 2020. So without further ado, guys, I want to react to this and then stick around because I'm going to talk about this story, which has been trending for a few days now, but I want to throw in my 10 cents just to let you know what I think about the whole situation. So here goes. That's a great beginning. I haven't actually seen this trailer for a long time.
I love to move fast and speed of any kind. I think that's because I grew up the daughter of a great fighter pilot, and every day I would wake up and go outside and look up and see my father and his squadron taking off and their F-4s roaring across the sky, and it was the most thrilling thing still I've experienced in my entire life. So when he lost his life in service to this country, it ignited a desire in me to turn all of that tragedy and thrill into one day making the greatest fighter pilot movie of all time. But try as I might and look as I
Not
did,
Top Gun then.
I couldn't find the right story ever. I kept looking and looking, but I just couldn't find the right one until now. Now I found a movie about two things I love. So I'm gonna see you very soon.
First of all, I gotta say, Patty Jenkins is a very attractive woman. I mean, I knew she was, but wow, just seeing in that trailer just kind of brought it back to me. But the reason why I mention this was December 2020. We're now what, November the 11th, 2021? Nothing has been heard of about this project. Until now, we know it's been delayed. But there's a pattern here, guys, and I'm gonna go into it in a minute. So, yeah, Jenkins and writer Matthew Robinson have been developing Squadron for Lucasfilm for over a year, with a goal of starting production in 2022. It was to have gone into pre-production by the end of this year. However, sources say the producers and filmmaking team came to the realization that Jenkins' schedule and other commitments wouldn't allow for the window needed to make the movie in 2022. Okie dokie. So it is unclear if any of Jenkins' commitments were at issue specifically, but she is in development on Wonder Woman 3 for Warner Brothers, a movie nobody asked for, and a Cleopatra feature from Paramount. Oh boy. I'm just going to call it Wonder Woman 2. You know, that's what it is. The 84 felt very flat. The film doesn't even feel like an 80s movie anyway. And I'm a kid of the 80s. So that film was an absolute insult as far as I'm concerned. Nobody wore fanny packs in the UK. I didn't. I think I'll be shot on sight if I did. But honestly, it was just like one of the worst sequels ever. Very little involvement from Zack Snyder this time round. So this kind of brings me to the whole thing actually. Patty Jenkins wanted the writer's credit for 2017's Wonder Woman, but they denied her that. So when that became a success and then she got the green light to do the sequel, she then basically said F you to the other people who wouldn't give her a writer's credit. She then writes the film. She got rid of Jeff Johns, remember? And of course, we ended up with this steaming pile of turd that is Wonder Woman 2. Now, despite that, and let's not forget, Patty Jenkins was the original director for Thor: The Dark World. And what happened? She went in, there were creative differences, and she walked off the set. Alan Taylor took over, and then you know the rest. Part of me is disappointed. I don't like the way Disney have treated the Star Wars franchise. In fact, if there's only one person that you can blame, it's Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, you just type in her name, Star Wars, go to image search, you see this horrendous and disingenuous message about the Force is female. What a cringy photo that actually is. Oh, I can't bear to look at that anymore. It's just terrible. And, you know, so what? So if the Force is female, Princess Amidala and Leia, They're not iconic females. Shall we just get rid of them and just do your own thing? Obviously, it's not working out for Kathy so far. Nobody likes Rey Palpatine, do they? Nobody likes any other. The only good person that people loved was Gina Carano as Cara Dune. And I was talking to a friend about that today. Like when we first saw her in season 1, when she made her entrance, everybody was just gagging for that. And when she turned up, it did not disappoint, and we got this covered. And again, this website makes me laugh. But honestly, when they publish articles like this, I have to laugh. Star Wars fans are already blaming Kathleen Kennedy for Rogue Squadron's delay. Whenever something goes wrong in the world of Star Wars, you can bet that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy will be the first name in the firing line of the fan base. Quite rightly so. For me, look, Kathleen Kennedy, she might be lauded as one of the greatest film producers ever, but honestly, if you're on a Steven Spielberg film and I'm watching a Spielberg movie, I'm looking for his name in big capital letters. Kathleen Kennedy, I don't really care about her name. As far as I'm concerned, she's the producer that brings him his cups of coffee and says to him, 2 sugars and cream, Mr. Spielberg. Yeah, the executives' handling of the franchise during the Disney era has come in for intense scrutiny and massive backlash. And some folks are now blaming her for the latest setback to hit a galaxy far, far away. She hates Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy hates Star Wars. She made a vague and empty promise that the Star Wars 1313 game, if you remember that was going to be resurrected. It wasn't forgotten about, but since then it has been forgotten about. So the Twitter reactions here are quite funny. So what? Oh my God. Right, Excalibur, I'm just going to call him that. Are you kidding me? What do you expect them to say? They literally work for Disney under Kathleen Kennedy. You don't shit on a project in-house and then think you'll walk away clean. You and I, and everyone else for that matter, are not privy to their internal thoughts. Stephen Millen. Just give Kathleen Kennedy the boot and replace her with Jon Favreau. Probably the best thing that they could have ever said, actually. Who would right the wrongs that both JJ or Jar Jar and Riby Johnson made on the sequels trilogy, as well as reunite both Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill for one last Star Wars. Give them proper closure. To all the crypto-misogynists concocting tinfoil stories about Kathleen Kennedy, Riby Johnson and Patty Jenkins, the truth is they're announcing things before they're ready because they have to keep investors hooked. They have to show work. But they haven't shown work, and yes, they are probably keeping the investors hooked for a period of time. And what they say here is not about you, the fans, at all. Okay, this person's either trolling us or they're probably one of the investors who thinks they know better. It's a stupid, dumb take either way. Honestly, no one actually cares about that. And it's only got 4 likes anyway, so no one actually gives a rat's ass about that. Phil Bush, well, F. That was the one I was most looking forward to the most. When does Kathy Kennedy get fired exactly? Yeah, we're all asking that question. I am generally, and this is from Orange Grove 55, I am generally a Kathy Kennedy fan, but it's becoming really hard to defend this. It's nearly every single movie has had this issue to some degree excessive. That's kind of a good point to end this on, because if you look at Colin Trevorrow, he apparently had an amazing script for Duel of the Fates for episode 9, is it, of this Star Wars iteration, but he made an indie movie because it failed. He was no longer the hot thing of the month. Then he had the dudes from Game of Thrones. They were touted to do like a Star Wars trilogy. Soon as Game of Thrones Season 8 came out, nobody wanted to know, did they? It was a failure. I hated it. Everybody else hated it. Kathleen Kennedy thought, well, I can't have you anymore. And obviously Lord and Miller, who did Solo, a Star Wars story. Apparently 80% of that film was shot already. Kathleen Kennedy didn't like what was going on with that because apparently there's a lot of comedy and improv. No, we can't have that. I'll just get rid of you two guys. I'll pay you for your troubles. We'll just get Ron Howard to come and generically start the film from scratch again. It was just such a weird thing. I don't understand it. And look, what Jon Favreau has proven is that he's the guy, he's the right guy, maybe with Dave Filoni, to take over Lucasfilm and just headline the projects and get them... Give us what the fans wanted, the fans who actually helped to make this series a big success. Jon Favreau proved that The Mandalorian could be, to quote Princess Leia, our only hope left in the Star Wars galaxy, far, far away. Star Wars Rogue Squadron delayed indefinitely. We'll probably never see it. That's my prediction. And also, can I just mention the fact that she's making a Cleopatra film with Gal Gadot? Why? Nobody wants that movie. Gal Gadot, I like her as a person. I'm not a big fan of her as an actress because she's very limited. She's not in the same dramatic chops as, say, Cate Blanchett or Kate Winslet for that matter. She's not in their league. She never will be. And I guarantee when the film of Cleopatra goes into production and when we get a subsequent trailer, people are going to be calling out the racist aspect of the movie because there are some scholars who claim that Queen Cleopatra was of black origin. Others say she's Persian and Greek. So I cannot wait to see what a hellfire Cleopatra is going to become when or if that goes into production. So don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for more videos that I upload on a daily basis. And if you do enjoy everything today, don't forget to come back for another reaction, rant, or review next time, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after that.
Like and subscribe, or get your nuts Krogan crushed.